Welcome to the Lindsay and Tony podcast, where we talk about spirituality, business, and life experiences.
In this podcast, we're bringing our private conversations to you.
We believe that it's through discussion, action, and reflection that true change occurs.
Welcome to episode 48, 3 reasons why you're self-sabotaging and repelling your success. In this episode, you will learn about the 3 core reasons why you self-sabotage and what to do to counter these destructive habits. I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. This episode is all about 3 reasons why you are repelling and self-sabotaging your success. This is a big topic, I feel like, with both of our sets of students, my mediumship students and psychic medium business students and your empath students, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a huge topic. And I feel like we've done this a longer way too.
Definitely. And it's one of those things where you want to feel successful, and I think we should talk about the definition of success.
Yeah, and success is just really just living how you want to live. I mean, keeping it simple, like it's working where you want to work, hanging out with who you want to hang out with, traveling where you want to travel, all of that good stuff. Everything about it, having the body that you want, healthy, the mentality, the peace, all of that. So we're going to talk about 3 reasons why you self-sabotage and how when you do that, you're actually repelling success. You're repelling your health, repelling all the great relationships that you could have.
Yeah.
And everything.
And maybe you already have them and you're repelling them. So you have everything in front of you, but then all of a sudden something comes over you. There's a wave of something that you feel like, oh my gosh, what if I fail?
Yeah.
And that's one of them, right?
And it's like you're in a hypnotic, exactly. And it's like you're in a hypnotic trance and you can't help it. How do I know? Because like I said, I've done this before. All of these I've done. So, or all of these reasons are reasons that why I've done these self-sabotaging behaviors that actually, you move ahead in life and then all of a sudden, bam, you do 2 things that take you back.
Right.
And it's just like a pattern that repeats over and over. So the first one we're going to talk about is you don't feel worthy. So this is a big reason why people self-sabotage and why it repels success. And it's because of you. You don't feel worthy. Inside, you don't feel like you deserve to have a beautiful relationship with your wife or husband, to have friends all over the world. A lot of people can't even comprehend that. Wait, to have friends in different countries and, who am I to have that? I just have friends locally or whatever, all that stuff, you just don't feel like you deserve it on an unconscious level. So that's when you have to go work on that.
Right. And sometimes you don't feel worthy even after the work that you've put in, because it's very easy to receive and you have the success of feeling happiness and fulfillment and freedom. But then these little steps that you've taken over the years, you actually forget what you've done and how hard you work, because there's certain points in success where it actually feels very easy and smooth and you're like, wait, what's wrong with this picture? Am I even worthy of this being this easy? I'm not used to this.
Exactly, because it just, a lot of times it'll just pop up very quickly, everything all at once. It's like you don't have a job and then you're looking for a job and then can't find one, but then you find one and there's 4 jobs. So it's like once all of that hits, I think that's when people get like overwhelmed. They start overthinking it and they're like, wait, who am I to have all this opportunity? And then, not feeling worthy enough, you start to do the self-sabotaging behaviors,
And the stuff that you have in front of you, it didn't just appear. There's a reason you have it. You've done something, whether you've manifested it in ways of energetically believing in it and taking some sort of action, or whatever it may be, there's a reason you have it. So it's important for you to really know that you have it for a reason. It's okay to feel worthy of it. And I'm thinking to a place when I was teaching 3rd grade, and I remember meeting Tony, and I was so happy that it actually scared me, because I had Tony. I had this loving person that I was in a relationship with. He understood me. I understood him. I was open to the spiritual stuff. I was doing my mediumship work, and I was teaching 3rd grade, and I loved it. And I remember talking to my teammate that we taught with, and she's like, what would be wrong with being happy? I'm like, well, I was happy at another point, and then it was taken away from me. So she wrote me a quote, and I still have it someplace in my closet, and it said, when you are happy, you will equal out. It says like more happy, or happiness equals more happiness. That's what she said. Happiness equals more happiness. Because in my mind, I thought, well, if I was too happy, it could be taken away. And what if the other shoe drops and something goes wrong? So I had that fear.
So that's part of what will cause you not to feel worthy.
Yeah.
I call them conflicting beliefs. Mm-hmm. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
It does not make sense, but we have those, and it's good that you were aware and you thought about this and you realized you had it, because I think a lot of people, they have these conflicting beliefs and they don't even know they have them. Mm-hmm. So they may not, for example, with money, that's a heavily debated topic, and it brings up a lot of emotion with people. So if someone grows up in a family to where they looked at money like, oh, those people are bad because they have money and da 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 da. Well, that kid that came from that family, as they go about their career, anytime they start to go make a lot of money, they'll self-sabotage, because unconsciously they feel, wait, people that make a lot of money, they're bad people.
Right.
So then they self-sabotage because that stupid belief, when we know that money is just paper, when you look at it, and it's a crazy cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So should we go to the next one?
Yep.
So number two reason why we self-sabotage and it repels success is we're unconsciously
fearing. We're fearing not be able to uphold to that standard. So maybe.
Oh, we're going to that one. Okay.
Oh, yes. Did I skip one?
Fear of not being able.
Oh,
we're going
I
to
skipped
unconsciously. Unconsciously, we fear criticism from others.
That's true. Okay.
So it's going back to the conflicting beliefs like we were just mentioning. Mm-hmm. So you fear the criticism of others. If you have too many friends, you might fear that your friends from, that you grew up with might get jealous. Like you might get upset with you because you're not spending as much time with them.
Which could happen. But...
And it does happen because we only have so much time. So the more friends you have, and your time's valuable. So unconsciously, that might keep a lot of people, in a very, very small little box world in the same city with the same people they've talked to for the last 20 years, which is okay if that makes you happy. But what I find with a lot of those people is they're not genuinely happy because they want more.
Yeah.
And they want to go out and explore, but once again, they know that unconsciously, they may not know it consciously, but unconsciously they know that it'll piss off their friends or whatever, it'll make them feel upset, like they're not giving them enough, attention.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you do have to leave that nest in order to come back stronger and grow faster by kind of pushing outside of that and then coming back in to revisit those people, or keeping them in your life, but coming back and going out.
Yeah, it's all a process. And the good thing is, in the end, most of your friends are going to be okay. Like, they're going to get mad at first, and then they let that die down. The dust will settle. So just know that, and you could keep your friends, and still, it goes with every aspect, every part of your life. It will be like that.
But that could be a huge thing, is fear of criticism. And that could really stop you in your tracks from growing, and you have to kind of move past it, even though I feel like that's the hardest place to be in. I feel
it is,
personally.
because nobody wants that negative stuff from anybody, especially their family or friends or whoever it may be. They don't want to deal with that, you know.
And then the last one is fear of not being able to keep up. So once you have this success and you're doing well, you could have the fear of, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to uphold this standard and keep my business running or feel successful in my life and what I'm doing? Am I going to be able to do it exactly like this the whole entire time?
Exactly. I had that fear before I started teaching, actually. I was like, wait, I love teaching and I get enthusiastic about it, but what if one day I don't feel, what if I can't keep that high level of energy all of the time? That was a fear of mine, even though it's so stupid looking back. Looking back, I realized that all people want is you just to show up real. They don't care about nothing else. So as long as you every day you could put on your shoes and go up and show up as a real person, that's all people want. So I think that's what helped take that fear away from me. But I had that fear too, of not being able to keep up when I did my lawn care business. Well, I did it twice. When I was 19, the first time, all of a sudden it grew very quickly. And I had all this opportunity. I could have built this business as big really as I wanted to as time went on. But in the back of my mind, I kept on thinking, I remember thinking as my 19-year-old self, am I going to be able to keep up with all this?
Yeah.
This is happening all too fast. And I didn't know if I could.
And remember when you were teaching, and this is something that crossed my mind too, was you're thinking, but they want the teachers to be at a certain standard. They make it feel like you have to be perfect. morally.
And that's another part of the teaching
so
aspect is you
afraid,
have
you're
that
like,
fear.
Am
Yes.
I meant to be a teacher in the system? Like I have to be perfect.
Like this perfect person who's just like, yeah, all proper and robotic, and I didn't want to be that.
And that's a lot of the mediums that are listening to this. They're probably thinking, I have to be perfect as a medium. No, you don't. You're a human being living here on earth. You have to take the pressure off yourself to just be yourself. And that's why people come to you, because of who you are too.
Exactly. And it's like understanding that we're all humans. Like nobody is, even though we make these podcast episodes and we make videos about like how to better your life, we don't think that we know everything.
Right.
Like we always talk about this. We do understand we're professionals in this area. That's why we do this. So that's why we bring our value. But we go back and forth. Like I know you've done it in your head. I've done it in my head to where you're like, wait, can I keep up as this? If you're, being a public figure, like, what does that mean? Does that mean I have to be presidential all the time, political and politically correct? It's a lot of stress.
I feel like anyone can have a podcast.
Anybody.
Anyone can do this work. You're just sharing your experiences. I think that's important, not to put the pressure on yourself to have to be a certain way. Just be yourself and show up. And I feel like Anita Moorjani really taught me a lot about that too.
Yes.
Just be yourself. That right there is purpose.
That's it, being yourself, and then also forgetting about yourself. Like using your instincts, and you're thinking about like, wait, how can I be most valuable to this planet? And you do that regardless, no matter the criticism, no matter your fear of being able to keep up. And I think that's a big thing, is getting out of our own head and realizing like, how can we help other people? Because I realized that when you do that, everything in your life gets better. It's not just a cliche thing. Well, it is cliche, and it's cliche for a reason, because it's truth. And I feel like when we get our perspective on that, it'll eliminate a lot of these self-sabotaging behaviors, actually.
Yeah, that's so true. How may I serve? And that's what Wayne Dyer says. So it does change everything in your life. If you feel stuck in your life, go and volunteer. It will help.
It takes daily work, so keep applying every single day.
But these are some quick tips, so make sure that you use them to think about. Make sure you're not self-sabotaging your situations, because you could easily think your business isn't working or the things that are in your life aren't working anymore, but really they are working. You're just working against them. So think about this, and if you have to replay this episode, do that, and share with us any moments of clarity that you've received from this episode. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you liked it, leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel too.
If you can think of anyone else that would love this episode, share it with them right now on social media or email. And remember, getting results is a process of learning, applying, and reflecting. Stay consistent and continue to grow every day.